And in this video, we're going to take a deeper dive into our advanced CRM tool that sits directly inside of Business Central. Now, this is going to be part 2 of our multi-part series around our advanced CRM tool. You've likely already seen our relationship management functions, but if you have not, I would highly recommend starting with that video. That's going to be part 1 of our series. What we're going to focus on today is a lot of details around salesperson productivity directly related to CRM activities that we've embedded directly into Business Central. So what this is going to include is 3 different things. The first is going to be our role centers that are going to sit directly on your homepage inside of Business Central. The second is going to be your dashboards. So for the role center, we both have an agent and a manager. On the dashboards, we're also going to have an agent and a manager. Then we're also going to show you how to create tasks for yourself or other salespeople, track those tasks through to completion, and really get a holistic view to your data inside of CRM, again, directly in Business Central. Now, the reason that we created some of these views is that we've found it to be very difficult from a user standpoint to actually navigate with the out-of-box Business Central CRM functionality that currently exists. So what we've aimed to do is make it easier to find stuff that you're looking to do, make it easier to see analytics and metrics on what you've done historically, and really eliminate a lot of the unneeded things in order to make it more simple for your management team as well as your sales team especially. Now, by making it simple and just really narrowing it down to those key aspects of both data and reporting and then some email marketing and quoting stuff that we'll get into later, what we've done is really simplify the function in order to actually encourage people to use this system on a day-to-day basis so that they can get right down to what they need and get back out into the field selling your products or your services so that you can really manage that efficiently inside of Business Central. So again, like I mentioned, we've done the relationship management piece. This is going to be part 2 going into productivity. So let's start with your role centers. We're going to break this down into 2 sections. We've got the agent and we've got the manager. So right now, I'm actually on the manager view. The reason I can tell that is because I see both my tasks and my contacts as well as my team's tasks and my team's contacts. So being on that manager view, not only are you going to be able to quickly drill down into your open tasks and see that list, as well as the completed tasks and see that list, you're also going to be able to see the open tasks of your team and the completed tasks of your team. And you can set this on a time frame or a time parameter. So I have this set to what's been completed in the last 30 days. You can set this to 60 days, 90 days, however long you want. And then again, that's just going to show you what you currently have open and what's been completed. Again, manager view, yours, your team's, and then you can also drill down into the leads, opportunities, and customers that are assigned to you, or the leads, opportunities, and customers that are assigned to someone else on your team. Again, if you haven't seen part 1 of our series, I'd highly recommend going into that relationship management video so that you can see exactly how the leads flow through to the opportunities flow through to customers, and how you can interact with that data through that full life cycle of your leads, opportunities, and contacts. So that's a little bit about how you get into the tasks. We'll get into the actual task creation and tracking here later in this video, but really wanted to start with the visuals around our CRM dashboards and role centers. So again, in the manager role center, some other things I can see here. I've got this task calendar from CRM. I'm in this agenda view. So this just shows me everything that I've got coming up in my task view. And then I also have a quick sales pipeline here. I can see what's in estimates, what's in quotes, what's in orders, all that fun stuff in my funnel view here. Now, what I'm going to do next is I'm actually going to switch to the agent view and just show you the differences there. We'll hop over here to the agent view real quick. And you're going to start to see some similar things. It's just going to be narrowed down more to your specific needs rather than being able to see your needs plus anybody who's on the team, right? So if you're not managing a team and you're just kind of your own sales center where you report up to somebody but nobody reports up to you, you'd likely just use this agent view that's going to be loading here in a second. All right, perfect. Here we go. Okay, so what you can see again is we have that agenda view, we've got our tasks, we've got our contacts, but again, this is narrowed down very specifically to just yourself. So you see I still have 13 tasks open, 14 completed, all of that fun stuff. However, I don't see data for anybody else. Now, in addition to this, what you can also do is up top here, we've narrowed down these selections to just what typically a salesperson in this CRM is going to need, right? So we have some setup data, some master data, sales documents. We've got your dashboard that you can go directly into, leads, opportunities, customers, all contacts, estimates, and marketing campaigns, right? So again, just those very necessity things that you're going to be drilling into each and every day without a lot of that other noise. Now, you can always go up to the search bar here and type in whatever you want and pin that to your role center here. However, we've tried to narrow it down just to those things that a typical sales agent is going to typically need. So in order to do this, I'm actually going to jump back into my managerial view just because it gives us the option to do both individual as well as the team view. So we'll jump back into that real quick. And as this loads up, we're going to now evolve from the role centers and start to look at some of the dashboards. So again, high level of the role centers is looking at your role center, agents, managers, being able to quickly navigate to the data you need, quickly see your tasks, quickly see the pipeline of flow you have, quickly see the task calendar you have. And then up top here, you can see your task list, your dashboards, and then all those other things. I've also, as you can see here, I've also pinned some of my own things that you can always go up to just through those personalizations. So trying to simplify this as much as possible so that you can get the most use out of it and be as efficient as possible. So let's jump into the dashboard next. We're going to have two different dashboards. So we're going to have my dashboard that you can see here. That's going to be hyper focused on just my data. Now we're going to have my team's dashboard. The reason I want it to be in the managerial view is so that I can see both of those. So first, let's jump into my dashboard. Now what this is going to show is it's going to show everything related to just me. So if I want to say, how am I doing this month or this quarter or this year, this is what I'm going to jump into. So I can see quickly, how much have I sold today? How much have I sold this week, this month? What's my quota for the month? How much have I sold this year? What are all of my open opportunities? I can go ahead and drill down directly into one of these opportunities if I want to see more data around this. So this is one of those that I did in part one, kind of just that basic, name information. If you start doing your timeline here, your notes, your checklist, all that fun stuff, you can drill directly into the opportunity from your dashboard. You can sort this by estimated contract value, highest to lowest, close date, the category, the salesperson, which should just be you because you're on your dashboard. When was the last time you interacted with this opportunity? And what is the next task date that you have assigned to this opportunity? Now, as we start to scroll down here, you can see more things related directly to just your agent profile here. So you can see how much of those opportunities are the different categories that you have tracking here. So again, most of it's in this big kind of pie of this pie chart. And then we have a little bit in this little sliver. Your sales by item category or resource group. So this is showing posted sales invoice lines per day by your item category. So again, what are your trends by the different things you're selling? Down here, we have quotas versus actuals for the last 12 months in your CRM. So you can see my quota line started to kind of rise and it flattens out. What were the actual sales amounts you had for those months here? Up and down again. Agent contact movement. So again, for Ben, for my salesperson, how many new leads am I booking, new opportunities am I creating, and new customers am I converting by date? Again, just showing some trends here. How many open tasks do I have individually? How many do I need to email? How many do I need to call? How many do I need to meet with? What is my agent log activity by month? So how many interactions am I having? How many phone calls, emails, meetings, things like that? It's going to show you your trends there. How many posted sales invoices and what are the different values there? You can sort by customer, by amount, all that fun stuff. Now we're going to get into some more analytical things by win-loss. So this can be really, really crucial. So you can see your conversion rate here. Again, this is just for me trending over the last 12 months. We're coming out with this product, this advanced CRM product in May. So really most of my data is going to be here. But if you had it historically, you'd see that trend over the last 12 months. So here you can see I'm converting 46% of the opportunities that I'm quoting in this example. So when we go into our managerial view, you'll see everybody kind of stacked up against each other to see who's closing what. Then for I'm closing 46%. So for the rest, the 54% that I'm not closing, why am I losing those? So it's going to say, okay, by your lost reasons, you can now see that, okay, 3 of them I lost because of budget. 1 of them I lost because they went to FNSC or FNO. And then 1 of them I lost because they just wanted to stay on their old system and they decided that right now a Business Central upgrade wasn't the right move for them, right? So you can now break that down into not only what's your conversion rate, but why are you losing the things that you're losing? If I come down to sales here, then these are going to be the top sales for my salesperson and then the individual pipeline for my salesperson. So again, a lot of in-depth views here, but a really quick analysis and a really quick way to look at the data, which again is trying to accomplish our goal of making this as simple as possible for the sales user and the sales team to go into and just quickly analyze what they're doing and kind of how they're trending. So that's it for the CRM agent dashboard up top here. Next, I'm going to go into my team dashboard, which this is going to help me not only analyze the data, but help better manage my team so that we can see who's doing what and help the team kind of grow together, right? So we're going to have a lot of tabs up top here. And if I start to look through this, what the first one's going to be is the salesperson overview. So these are all the salespeople in my system. I can quickly see what's everybody's quota this month, what's everybody's actual sales this month, what's their year-to-date quota, and what are their year-to-date sales. So we just looked at mine. So let's look here at Grant's. Now what I can do if I drill into this is this will actually show me specifically for Grant what his dashboard would look like. So I'm not Grant, but I can see exactly what I just saw for myself now for anybody that's on my team. So how much was sold today, this week, this month, the month's quota in the year, what are all of Grant's open opportunities, what are the open opportunities for Grant by category. You can see this looks like a little bit different than mine. Mine was mostly kind of one-sided where he's got a bigger variety. Again, same things. Posted sales invoice per day by item categories, the movement, the open tasks, the agent logs, what's been posted, what's his conversion rate. So his conversion rate's 46 I guess that was the same as mine, but he's got different loss reasons. So he's only lost one to F&O, one to staying, and none to budget concerns, right? Who are his top customers and what is his sales order flow? So again, I can drill down into anybody on my team, and at a high level, I can also see how my team is doing holistically. I can see all the opportunities for my team, and then I can see the opportunities by category, both for the overall categories and then the opportunities by the different salespeople here that we've got. So that's the summary tab that we're looking at. The next one for my team is going to be quoting. So everything that I'm quoting that my team or I are quoting. Again, you can set up who's on your team. I've got myself included so we can see everything, but you could exclude yourself if you wanted to. So this is going to show how many open quotes do we currently have on the team, how many quotes are expiring, quotes by salesperson. So again, who, and this is by dollar amount. So you can see, okay, I'm quoting, 5,000, Grant's got 2,250 in quote, and Joe's got 2,250 in quote as well. So you can quickly see based on the open quotes, who's assigned to what are people quoting. So in this case, I've got all professional service in this case, quoting by customer. So you can see who is being quoted. And then you can see this is quoting by employee, but this is really just using a global dimension. One of mine is employee. So this is just if the quote were to close, who would work on the work, right? So I've got some for myself, some for Carly, some for Grant, some for Riley, right? So just a different way to kind of analyze the data. So if I am to close all these things from a capacity standpoint, now who's actually going to be working on that data when we take the next step, right? So that's quoting. Bookings, this is going to be based on what we've actually sold or converted, right? So I'm actually at the bottom of the page, but again, we're going to see quickly what our loss reasons are. We're going to see our conversion rate by person, our booking log in total. And then we've also got some bookings by salesperson, by item category, by global dimension 1 and global dimension 2, right? So as we start to look at this and this starts to grow, we can see actually what's being converted from those quotes to those bookings. Now, in addition to that, we'll keep moving over left to right. We've got activities, right? So we can see tasks by user per day, open tasks by user, logs per user, emails per user, meetings, and phone calls. So this is a way to track the actual interactions and activities that salespeople on your team are having. And then, you can quickly compare this to, okay, are the users that are having more interactions and logging more meetings, are they having more sales than the people who aren't, right? So you can start to use this quantitative data to really analyze it from an analytical standpoint into those qualitative aspects as to, who's doing what and why, really starting to look at the why behind the data and comparing some of these tabs, right? The last two we're going to have is our sales by date and our sales by salesperson. So this just quickly shows holistically for the team, how much has the team sold today, this week, this month, this year? What are my sales trends by date? What are my sales trends by year? So again, you also will see some of this in our sales dashboard if you've seen that tool before, but similar kind of view here that we're seeing, and then your monthly sales for this year, right? So we're in May, so May's obviously just getting started, but you can see again those trends over the year. And this last one is going to be the manager dashboard for your salespeople. So what is your conversion rate by salesperson? What are your top sales on this team? Sales per date by salesperson, your top salesperson sales, right? And you can drill down into most of this data as well. One of the things I didn't talk about is the different date toggles, but you can see here if you wanted to just look at the sales data for last month, quarter to date, last 3 months, year to date, all that fun stuff, just use the buttons at the top. You can also go into the settings and create your own custom date range, which you can totally do as well. But really by looking at the summary, quoting, bookings, all this by the different date ranges, you start to get a very intimate look at your data, both from an agent standpoint and from a managerial standpoint, so that you can see not only tracking yourself, but also tracking the team of people you manage in order to simplify things and also make them as successful as possible as they move forward. So that's a little bit about agent and manager role centers and dashboards. The last thing I want to show, because we looked at a lot of it here, is the task creation and tracking. So the last thing that would help add to the salesperson productivity is being able to quickly and easily log tasks and create tasks and track those tasks that we saw in the dashboard here. So let's say I'm on a lead, go to lead contacts up here. What I can do, I'm going to go to that test. When I'm in here, I can actually start to create tasks, right? So here I've got a scheduled task. Now I can come up here and say, follow up with test company. I can give it a task category. Just say it's a follow-up in this case. What do I want to do? So we saw before, we had emails, we had phone calls, we had meetings, all that kind of stuff. So I'm just going to say I want to call them. What's the task priority and when does the task need to happen? I'm going to say, okay, well, today I called them for the first time maybe, so maybe on 5/10 is when I'm going to follow up with them. And I can just go ahead and click close. And now if I come back out here, I have 14 open tasks. Before you saw that I only had 13. So let's go into this new task, test company 4. So that's going to be my full list. Again, this is the full list of everything that I have to do by task category, whether it's email, follow-up, what the status is, who I need to follow up with, all of that fun stuff, right? So if I come back down here, follow up with test company, maybe I've completed it early, I can go complete, right? Are you sure you want to complete this task? I can click yes. Now you can see it disappears off of my list. And if I go back to my dashboard, I've got 13 open and I've got 15 completed, right? So it's a very easy way to manage the tasks that you have in the system and also create new tasks that will be on your agenda so that you can always stay up to date with what you've got on your plate. So let's look one more time here. I'm going to go into the test company. One of the things I didn't do before, all I did before was complete it. What I could also do is say, as I'm completing this task, also create a follow-up task. So this is an email. Maybe I'm going to email them today and I want the follow-up to be a phone call on, let's see, this one says 5/12. So let's say 5/15. We want to follow up via phone call with contact 1. And you can also add the notes like we saw in the first session that we did. And I'm going to go complete. And I'm going to click yes. And now what you'll notice is that I've got 16 completed because it just completed that task. But in my open tasks, if I come in here on the 15th, follow up via phone, contact 1. So as you're completing tasks, that number of open tasks may not change in this instance if you're always creating follow-ups, but this makes it really easy to show, hey, I've completed one task and now I'm going to do another. Not only is that going to help clear out some of your tasks and move them into completed, but it's also really going to help your manager see how much you've actually been doing, right? So by completing tasks, creating follow-up tasks, it's going to log those as completed and it's going to show new tasks upcoming. So that really helps show what you're working on from a day-to-day basis. So in terms of productivity in our CRM tool, again, our goals are to simplify the CRM that currently exists in Business Central and really enhance what exists today in order not only to give you some of that relationship management features and functions that we talked about in section 1, but also go into section 2 that we've just talked about for the last 20 minutes for our salesperson productivity, right? So after you're actually doing your activities and making sure those leads are getting in, now being able to report from our CRM agent dashboard and our manager dashboard, being able to really easily look at that data on our homepage from our agent and our manager role center, and then also being able to easily create tasks and track those tasks through to completion with full notes on those tasks, and make it very, very easy to start tasks, complete tasks, and have all those tasks flow through to those dashboards so that you yourself can see how you're doing, and then you can also see for the larger team how your team's doing and be able to quickly track all of that data. So appreciate everybody listening today to our salesperson productivity section of Advanced CRM. You've also likely seen the relationship management portions of this, but please do tune in and check out our other videos. Our other videos are going to be around more emailing and marketing automation type functions, as well as enhanced quoting, order creation, which we saw some of the metrics and statistics on today, but really getting into how to create those in the system and how to manage those on an ongoing basis. So look forward to seeing everyone again, and hope everyone got a lot of good content out of today's Advanced CRM section. Talk to everybody soon. Thanks.